With that in mind, I think that what trends we are seeing in the AI space are helping to break down some of those barriers, and we're fortunate to have one of the leading thinkers and technologists in the space here, particularly with respect to fisheries, to talk to us about some of the AI trends and computer vision, particularly around identifying fish species and even some of the AI used for activity recognition. And so Jimmy Freese, who is with AI, I'm going to get this wrong, it's fish.ai? AI.fish. I knew I was going to get it wrong. He's got a long history in working in the computing space. They've been doing some really fantastic work, he and his colleague Ben, in this space, and I'd like you to welcome him to the stage now to talk about operationalizing computer vision in the cloud and at the edge for fisheries electronic monitoring. So Jimmy, please join us on the stage.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Bubba. Yeah, my name is Jimmy Freese. I'm with AI Fish, and talking about computer vision in the cloud and on the edge. So our team was founded by myself and our CTO, Justin Kay, and we consist of a handful of machine learning engineers and software engineers and a little army of our own in-house data labeling team, which is critical for what we do. So it's no secret that there's already kind of a data problem, and it's going to get only worse in fisheries. We're currently dealing with, tens and hundreds of terabytes of data. We're getting close to petabytes just in our own little company. And so get to that scale, put it on more vessels, and we've got a massive amount of data that we need to process. So that's what we, according to Eric, are doing, chasing the golden ring. So, with that, the cost is prohibitive as we get into things. And these are sort of older numbers with this, but between $254 and $433 per sea day would be what it costs for reviewers. And so we did a little case study with tuna. We do a lot of stuff with tuna longline vessels. And so, their averages range, the amount of time they're at sea, 7 to 21 days roughly. And so that turns out to about $1,800 to $9,000 per trip review costs. And those quickly add up annually to 21 to 100, near 110K. And so for Hawaii's fishery, which is about 146 boats, roughly 150, it ranges from 3.2 to 16 million. Big range. The point of this slide isn't so much that, is that this technology can get these costs down. So we have solutions. We have solutions we have cloud-based solutions, and we have edge stuff. And we work with the fisheries to develop custom solutions depending on what's needed and how much data, level of accuracy, and how quick the results need to be. And they're not sort of mutually exclusive. We can do something on the edge and then push it into the cloud for further more in-depth analysis depending on what's needed. And we currently do that with the fisheries we work with. So here's an example of our longline vessels, and currently with longline tuna and the probably 1.8 to 2 million just on longline tuna annotations that we've done, we get better than human accuracy or equal to, depending on the metrics that people have defined. And that's with counting, species ID, detection. That also includes gear. So that's currently what we're doing there. not to get too technical, but there's a range of things that we think that are important for this. Like I mentioned cloud, I mentioned edge, and there's also sort of APIs that are sort of your middleware of what the software can bring to sort of any review. So we can work with any review software as we do, and we can provide sort of, in a sense, software features to what they need with customized results and tailored to the exact type of fishing, whether or not it's a pile of fish in a trawl sense, or it's one by one on a long line, that sort of thing. So we also offer a web-based platform for those without their own review software, and this would be, it's an application in which you can sort of see where your fish are, you can quickly get to what fish you need. We have a dashboard that can sort of help you filter out the events that you might need, and it saves a lot of time when you're trying to hunt down certain things. And so we've done some costing, and generally AI review costs with GPU costs and related, about $24 a day per fishing day of footage. This is also still a unit of measure that we just had a conversation last night about, do we cost this per day of fishing? Each type of fishing is different. Do we run around costing this on a per megabyte basis? We're going to talk about this as a per day of fishing, but we're open to anything that would wrap people's head around it. Even on a per data level, we then got to get into technical stuff like frames per second and resolution and that stuff. So it starts to become a mess. Let's just keep it at fishing a day of footage. And so that's roughly 10% of what it costs a human to do this. And at about $55 a vessel per month, $660 annually, a typical long line would be about $7,000 per year, which from the numbers I showed you earlier, it's about a third in reduction of cost. So it's nice to have. With all of this comes a lot of challenges, and give a whole nother talk just on sort of the roadblocks and the speed bumps we've hit. But collecting data, I think that was mentioned already, how difficult. Bubba just talked about how difficult data is, and data being siloed and that kind of stuff. That's a huge one. And just building the technology isn't simple. So we've hit all kinds of things in dealing with poor camera placement, poor camera quality, water on lenses. Okay, there's a bunch of challenges. And so with the data, related to the data thing, it requires strong partnerships, and we've been lucky enough to receive a huge amount of data, tens and thousands of hours of fishing footage, and that's not without sort of massaging and building trust. So this has been, as everybody knows, it's not, fishermen just don't hand out their data. And so that's essentially the only way. Without the data, you're not getting good AI. I simply don't believe there's really, really good few shot learning for this application right now. And so some of our sort of lessons we learned and things we look for in the future would be, another challenge would be large amounts of data. Uploading them to the cloud is difficult, especially on low bandwidth connections. I'm sure still some of you know that people ship hard drives around. It seems sort of arcane, but sometimes it's the most efficient thing to do. So we worked hard on video compression, optimizing the chunking of data and moving data in that fashion, and then also coupling with the edge. And that, just one nice thing it can do is just clip out all the stuff that nobody wants to look at. So we have, essentially the opportunity for here is processing things in full parallel at least 100x speed of what real time is. If not, right now I think we do much better than that, and then our inference speed is close to 500x. So that's actually, so depending if we're processing or inferencing. So, and then we, sorry, this one, I forgot what I wrote. Yeah, so we keep looking to the future with these things. Okay, apologize for that, but that's where we're at. Thanks, guys.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for that, Jimmy. I guess that's a good summary. That's where we're at. It's there's so much going on in the space, and it's so hard to really capture everything that's going on in every context. That's one of the reasons that having people here in this forum to figure out where things are at, and understand, what the status is, what's reality, what's promised. Sometimes those things don't always match, and so it's good to be pragmatic about the capability of the technology, and it may be available, but it may not be economical. It may not be practical. It may not have the exact features that you need in a specific context.